art, just doing some art, relaxing. So I'm going to art journal page today, and I'm going to use the stencil as my focal point. So I already have things taped out, and I think today I'm going to start with some collage. So I pulled some collage papers to get down. So let's jump in. Just gonna get some little pieces, I think, and kind of try to get all these colors that are on this page because they're so pretty. And I really like how they blend together. Hi Mom, how's it going? Are you surviving over there with all those kiddos? That's a good idea. Go outside and play. Okay, these are looking nice. So I'm gonna use clear gesso to adhere this down to the page. Maybe if I can get it open. Ooh. And my spatula. There we go. So for anybody who is watching this after the fact, it will also be posted up on YouTube, and that might be where you actually want to check it out because it's way more fun sometimes to just, put this in like 2 times speed, and you still get to see everything I'm doing, but, faster, and it's also kind of funny. So just a little tip there, anybody watching after the fact. And if I remember, I will link the YouTube channel down in the comments section, but it's definitely already linked on the homepage. I'm not really thinking too hard about this. Honestly, my brain is like, brain off time sounds good. Alright, let's smooth it all out now. Go. Okay, step 1 done. All right, I think I'm gonna do some lift techniques with the dressings. So let's get some of this on the page. This is I just threw the lid in there. This is Wilted Violet, one of my favorite colors. just going to put like a little bit of color everywhere. It doesn't have to be in one place or anything. It doesn't have to go together. I like it when it blends into new colors. And I am going over top of just some little pieces of the collage paper too, which will kind of blend together with that and give everything a more like cohesive look at the end. Okay, I got my little bucket of blending brushes. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I like this color. Though that looks very similar to the other one. I lost the lid. Oh, here it is. Last but not least, I want to get more yellow in here, which is, I think it'll look really cool and blend with all these colors pretty well. I might stay away from trying to blend it with the purple. Yellow and purple are complementary, and when you blend those colors, it's usually not that pretty. You get mud. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stay away from the purple, but I keep putting it next to it every time. Okay. It's probably okay as long as I don't blend into it. Yeah, I'll get a dark color in here eventually. This is only the second layer, so we got a lot to do still. Okay, now that I have quite a bit of color down on the page, I like to do a technique where you can spray a stencil and lift off some of the distress ink and get a really cool pattern in the ink that way. So I just got like a little towel here, and I'm going to put the stencil down on the towel and just spray straight onto the stencil. Like not too much, but like enough where you can see all these little water droplets on here. And I'm going to just lay it right there. Kind of press this down so that the droplets have a chance to spread out. And then lift. There you go. We can see. Hopefully you can see the pattern of the stencil in there. Looks pretty cool. I'm going to do it again down here. All right. Throw it in the stamp bath, let's move on to the next step. I'm gonna dry real quick, so I'm gonna mute. Okay, it's pretty dry. But I think, yeah, here's where we'll come in with some of the darker color. And I think I'm going to use the Neo colors for this. I'm going to go ahead with the Neo color 2, which is these. I really like these. It's like a crayon, but also the 2 will react with water, so you can get this really creamy crayon. And so I got a little water jar over here. I'm just gonna dip my crayon in, and let's see. So we'll have to be a little careful with the layers going forward, just bearing in mind that this will react again if I put water on it again, even once it's dry. And then smear it, so I gotta be careful. Just gotta be aware of that. Okay, I think that's enough for that layer. It'll be pretty good. All right, so I've got these gelatos. I just kind of recently came across this product, and they are also similar to the Neocolor, as they are water reactive, but they're also kind of like an oil pastel, where they're like really creamy and you can blend them, if that makes sense. But I really like this set. This is the Brights, and like they're so happy. So let's use some of these really bright colors in here. And actually, I'm gonna dry this. I'm gonna dry this first, and then we're gonna do that. Okay, now we can get into this. So let's pull out the yellow. This is more of like a neon yellow color that I think will kind of go with the more of the yellow that we've got in our collage paper. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on over here. Brighten up the yellow down there. Okay. Now I've got this little spongy thing here that I can kind of blend this out and make it real smooth looking. There, isn't it nice? It keeps such a vibrant color. It's also transparent, so I can see through and still see the layers, the pattern that I've got here with the stencil. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do with these. I really just wanted to bring in some of that vibrant yellow into that. Yeah, okay. All right, so I think I'm going to move on to some stamping and pull some stamps I might want to use. I kind of like that we've got this sort of circle and squiggly line thing going on. So I might kind of run with that a little bit and go with some squiggle patterns and okay, there's one I'm looking for and I can't find it. Oh, here it is. All right, I am going to stamp with permanent StazOn ink. This will not react with water. Okay. I'm just kind of getting like a light tap on here. I'm not trying to really get a whole stamp. So I'm not even using a base. I'm just kind of pressing a little bit with my fingers to get a hint of some layering. Okay, I'm gonna stop there and move on to this one. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right, I did pull this, I don't know, beehive hexagon looking one. But I think I'm not going to use that. I think I like the screen one. It looks like to me it looks like a screen. I don't know what you would call it, but okay, there we go. A little more grungy-ish looking. All right, I'm thinking spray next through some stencil again, and I gotta pick out a good one here. I think that could be good. Some little flowers. grab all my sprays. So these are Distress Oxide sprays. And that means that they will react with water also. And the oxide in them gets more chalky, I guess. But I think I'm going to spray with I think I'm going to go with purple. Or do I want to use the blue? The blue could be really nice too. Okay. It's probably annoying, but I got to shake it up really well. And I just want the spray to stay right here. So I'm going to cover up the rest of my page. Carefully lift that up. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more over here, I think. Okay. And again, I don't want to get it everywhere. So the further away from your page that you are, the bigger area your spray will take up. So I'm gonna get kind of close here so that it doesn't go everywhere. Okay. Nice, there we go. Into the stamp bath you go. All right, I'm liking that. I do need to dry it, so I'm gonna go on mute again. Just for a moment to get that dry. All right, I feel like I'm ready to at least get the focal point on the page. And the way that I want to do this is put down white gesso first to give it a base. So I'm gonna just do that for all of the different parts of the stencil, just so that I have a clear base to work on when I'm putting the other colors on top, because I really want them to pop off the page and for you to not see the stuff going on underneath. We'll use this. This is Dina Wakley white gesso, and so it will be very opaque. It should do the trick. I'm just going to use a sponge to get it on to the page. A little bit more. Running out of it over here. that'll be a good base, at least. So hopefully it'll, the other colors when we go on top will show up a little bit better. I'm gonna wipe this down with a wipe. I can't throw it in the stamp bath because I'm gonna need to use it again. Okay, so next let's get these flowers in place. I should dry this first, huh? Okay, one sec, I'll dry. All right, should be good enough to get at least this on here. Try to figure out where it needs to be. I think right here. Okay. More gesso. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill the middles in because I know I'm gonna need them filled in. Okay. Pretty much all this space. There we go. All right, I'm gonna dry real quick and then we'll go on to the next layer. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna come in with the actual color that I want these to be. And so this is our green layer. So I'm gonna pull up some green paints. Let me get these out of my way. And I'm gonna put down a couple of different colors of green. Because I do kind of like when they do their blendy thing. Is this the same color? No. Look close for a second. I was like, eh. And all right, I'm actually gonna mix in a little bit of blue also. Okay, going in, here we go. before I move this, I do want a darker green also. That's this bright green. Okay, we'll do this classic green. And I don't necessarily want to go everywhere, just giving some little hints of detail of different shades of green to make our leaves interesting looking. All right, there we go. We got our leaves. And now I'm just going to come in with a little paintbrush. Maybe not that little. Oh, this will be a good one. And now that I've got the basic shape here, I'm just going to maybe thicken up some of these lines and make sure that we're completely covering the white. A little bit over here. Okay. I just got a little bit of yellow to blend into this to really lighten up some areas. We got some dark areas and then some lighter areas. I'll make this leaf more blue since it is on the green paper. It's not showing up as much. Okay, there we go. I like that. Wipes. Okay, I'm gonna clean my stencil and then we'll do the next layer. Drying, and then we'll do the next layer. Okay. All right, so let's get our flowers in place. There we go. And get our yellow. All right, I think I'm going to also play around with this a little bit as well and add some, you know, not normal colors into the sunflower, but just have a little fun with that. Get a different sponge. Here we go. Use this guy. There we go. All right, now I'm going to darken my yellow a little bit for the next layer of the stencil. And it's going to kind of be all these little petals in between the ones that we just did. So I want them to be a slightly different color. Okay, so I'm mixing a little bit of pink into my yellow for this next layer. Actually, I forgot, I gotta dry it. Thankfully, that thing dries it really fast. That looks pretty good. All right, liking it. And just like before, I'm just gonna touch up a little bit with a paintbrush. I think it'd be easier if I dry this layer and then do the touch-up. So dry. Okay. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, now we can add the middle. And quite honestly, I don't think I need a stencil to do that. So just get a little bit of brown on here. Well, this one being on an angle has a slightly oblong middle. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm going to dry it, and then I want to come in with some pen details to make it kind of pop off the page even more. I can go in the back now. I'm done with you. Okay, mute and dry. All right, glad this dries quick. Okay, so for the pen details, I'm going to use, let's see, this is a Uniball Signo black broad point gel pen, and I really love this thing. And I'm just going to be kind of doing some just loose, I don't know, expressive lines to just give the hint of an outline on all of this stuff. My head in the way. I almost think these need to be thicker lines based on how thick our black lines are over here. So I'm just going to do this a very loose layer, and then I'm going to use that black Neo color that we used for the rest of these. Where did I put that though? Here it is. Okay. I kind of wish I had a sharpener though, to be honest. I wonder if we can sharpen these. Okay. I am going to do this slightly different and add the water after the fact. I think that's going to be better. Okay, so this time I'm going to, I put the crayon on, or the Neo color on dry, and I'm going to apply the water with just a little bit of a wet brush and just smooth it out. You can see it almost immediately just gets creamy with the water there. Good morning, Tiffany. Hi. yeah, I think that helped a lot. I think it helped it make it look more cohesive on here and kind of pop off a little bit more off the page. I'm going to do just a few more down here on this little flower. Okay. There. Yeah. All right. I forgot to put the black crayon back in here. Oops. Okay. I think the last thing that I want to do is maybe just kind of frame it up a little bit. And I'm going to do that with some black paint and a popsicle stick. So, let me grab that. Alright, and I'll try to scoot this down into frame for a second so you can see how I'm going to just put some paint. Turn it the other way. So I've got just like a line of black paint right here, and I'm just going to wiggle my popsicle stick back and forth. And then I'm just going to kind of do a couple lines like that. Voila. Oops, now it's not even out. The picture's not in frame. There. Alright, so yeah, I think that really balanced it out. I like that a lot. I'm going to thicken this one maybe. Alright, I'm going to dry, and then I think we'll be ready to take the tape off and see the final review. Okay, some of these puddles are too thick and they're going to take a while, but I'm just going to go for it. Plus, it's so satisfying taking the tape off. It's like my favorite part of the process. Except right there where I'm tearing it. Oof. Gotta heat it up. Okay. There we go. Alright, I don't know if it's gonna get fuzzy when I bring it up here. But there it is. And again, I'll take pictures and I'll post them on the Facebook homepage so you can see close-ups. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.